Good evening, Rask enjoyers. Have the Rex. It's time for Profit Review. Last week we discussed the Lunar New Year Week 1 Rust Store for 2025, and that means today we're here to talk about Week 2. So sit back and relax. I'm going to start yapping. Now, before I do, some of you probably don't understand the focus of the video. You don't probably understand what Profit Review is. Don't worry, I'll quickly explain right now. Basically, with every single Rust Store that we see, I will return to it 4 weeks later just to see how everything turned out. Did everything match up to expectations? And if not, I have to sit here and explain why. Now, of course, with every single Rust Store that we see, I'm always making considerations for what potentially might be the best investments for this week. Was I correct? And if not, you can hold me accountable. And of course, I'll keep track of the progress of sales. I'll talk about how we approach them with the buy orders. That, of course, being how did we do things when the abnormal buy orders appeared. Sounds good? Right then. So, shall we hop back over to here and discuss my initial reaction? Or rather, everybody's initial reaction. A second week of Lunar New Year? This has never happened before. But people weren't exactly super enthusiastic either. People didn't really care for it. Sorry to say, but that was the basic initial reaction. So, okay, you know what? We'll just give it a quick look. Another AK. Another one. Wait, what? See, at this exact same time when this Rust Store appeared, was it like the next day or two? There was the February 2025 Twitch drops. 4 AK-47s were being given away for absolutely free. And they went and put that in the Rust Store at $2.49. Yay! Now, the week after this was going to be the February Force Wipe, the February update, the primitive update. And we were noticing certain things being mentioned, a special medieval AK in a medieval pack. Like, it really did look like we're going to see, maybe 7 AKs within like a week. Yeah, that looked like it was going to be the case. So that... What did they accept that there? I don't know, but it happened. So, okay, yippee, another AK. We've got another Lunar New Year furnace. Now, in the past, we've had quite a lot of furnaces for Lunar New Year. They don't really work out very nicely. And then we had, like an L96. But there's like 20 L96s, and pretty much all of them but 2 are in the negative. Yeah, there's only 2 in the positive. Yeah, so overall, the Lunar New Year Week 2, it wasn't looking very promising. It didn't look like it was going to have that much interest, and yeah, yippee. So why don't we just jump in and talk about how we approach things in regards to trying to figure out what potentially was the best investment for the week. So let's go over to here, and I'll talk about how I looked at all the skins and what I was considering to be nice investments. But by default, I thought everything was going to go down in price. But a smart buy order can usually work out as a nice potential investment. So I looked at all the skins, made considerations, and I thought the locker might be pretty interesting. Technically speaking, it was a pseudo collection continuation to the rabbit locker we got like 2 years before that. But we never got the dragon one the year between. So next year we're going to skip another locker, and then after that we get the locker 2 years later again. I don't know. So they look quite similar. It was nice and interesting to see. And, pair that up with the brand new wall divider packs and the Lunar New Year wallpaper. It made a pretty interesting looking interior. But lockers up to this point, so this was the first locker of 2025, and it just so happened that there was going to be a Twitch drop as well. But all the lockers we got up to this point during post-Christmas, just to remind you, it was the end of January, we're just about wrapping up post-Christmas. All of these were still in the negative. Yeah. So it wasn't exactly looking promising. Also, Lunar New Year, holiday themed skins. What happens when it's not the period of time when it's the holiday? Yeah, it goes down in price, and I wasn't feeling super enthusiastic. So, yeah. So, smart buy order would have been the smart choice. So, okay, fair enough. Now, looking at all the other skins, I thought the sleeping bag looked really cool. Very bright, very noticeable, and something you probably would appreciate inside your base. So I thought, okay, yeah, maybe that could work out a little bit better. Yeah. That's basically all I thought, but still expected it to drop off. Still expected it to end up, Bullets Rust or price at some point. Now, looking at all the other skins, I was making considerations. I was giving it some thought, and I thought maybe the salvage sword probably could work out nicely. A very interesting creative design. You've got like the twin prongs, transparency to help make that happen. You've got the cool looking golden snake. That's nice. I thought people would appreciate that. Like a perfectly befitting skin for the Year of the Snake. But salvage swords, were they actually going to work out nicely? With the primitive update being next week, were we actually going to see a lot more usage of those primitive weapons, and were they actually going to go up in value? With their skins, more specifically. More usage of the weapon, more demand for skins, justification, value go up? Yeah. So that was the assumption. I thought the L96 still looked very nice. It was a nice, cool golden skin, the snake going all across it and whatnot. Surely it can't go down that badly, right? But L96s, in general, so many of them down in price, it didn't look like it was going to be pretty good. And then basically for the other skins, I just didn't really expect much of it. Nope. But there was the clothing, and the clothing was interesting. Pants was selling at 99 cents. The hoodie was selling at $1.99. What a strange thing. But this was not really specifically made for the Year of the Snake. No. That right there is just a generic dragon. Not to say there's anything wrong with it. Dragons for Lunar New Year still make sense and whatnot. But next year isn't the Year of the Dragon. But I would still expect the skin creators here to produce either Tier 2 or Tier 3. And if that does happen, it gets accepted. Or it's just basically like Halloween clothing and armour and Christmas clothing and armour. So as long as we see the collection continuation next year and it gets accepted, still spike in spike in price. But I do expect it to drop off pretty badly over the course of the year until it gets to that point. So, okay. It's likely to drop off, but it could still work out nicely. We see the collection continuation. Fair enough. Global barred as it is. So, okay. Yeah. So, fairly straightforward. Not super enthusiastic. It is what it is. So, let's talk about the progress. So, looking over to here, the top selling skin after the first 24 hours of sales was the AK. Over here, SCM was a bit broken back then. So, sorry about the order of these. The AK only did just over 7,000 subscribers. It was a tame week, especially when you compare it to the previous week. We had the garage doors and they had like over 20,000 subscribers for the first day. Yeah. So, okay, fair enough. We probably wouldn't be expecting too high prices. So the AK had just over 7,000 subscribers. The Furnace had just short of 7,000 with about 6,800 subscribers. And then the L96 just barely almost 5,800 subscribers. Like, they really did not have that many sales, so potentially all the better for them to rise up in price in the future. Maybe. All right, fair enough. Let's now talk about the abnormal barders. So hopping over to here, we can take a look. So on the night, I was looking at all the overall sales. I'm looking at the AK, almost 18,000 subscribers. Not too bad, but again, the amount of AKs we've had in such a short amount of time, I'm still questioning it a lot. The Furnace sitting here with just about 16,500 subscribers. Oh, maybe not too bad. The clothing only just about going up to about 7,500 subscribers. Okay. I probably wouldn't expect too many listings in the future. And looking at all the sales here, so many of them below 10,000 subscribers. They all very likely would have ended up with like next to no listings on the Steam market. And when you have like next to no listings, prices don't really go up or down that much. We'll probably have some examples in a bit, don't you worry. So, okay, fair enough. So when we did the abnormal barders, what prices did I suggest and how did we approach them? So I looked at the Kaleidoscope, Lunar Snake Kaleidoscope AK-47 during the same week where we have so many Twitch drops. Literally the week before we had an AK. This week we have an AK. Yeah. Actually, did we have a AK the previous week? I can't even remember. But anyway, it came out whilst we had Twitch drops. So many AK-47 Twitch drops. I fully believed this was going to end up around $1, so 60 cents to 80 cents. Very straightforward. I really didn't think it was going to maintain interest. And of course, eventually, you're going to see even more AKs in the Rust stores and more AKs going away as Twitch drops. I just didn't think it's going to really hold up. Looking at the Lunar Snake Furnace, I did compare this with like previous year's furnaces, and pretty much every single one of them is like not holding up very well at all. Yeah, so 60 cents to 80 cents for that, even though it's selling for $2 in the Rust store. I looked at the L96 and I thought to myself, you know what? That is just about sitting there with 13,000 subscribers. That is not too much. It's got a pretty cool looking, interesting design to it. I did question how often people are even using L96s. I went with the price of 80 cents to $1.20. I didn't think it was going to go below $1. I thought it was actually going to hold up quite nicely. So, okay, fair enough. Then I looked at the the Lunar Snake Locker. I really did think about it because like this was one of the main things I initially looked at and thought was going to work out quite nicely. Questioned it more and more over the course of the week. And when it came to doing the buy orders, I went with 70 cents to $1. I kind of lost a sense of confidence with it, is what I was going to say. So, yeah, that's how I approached that. Then I looked at the amulet rug. This was more decorative rather than, looking like an actual rug. I actually compared this with the previous year's rug. And at this specific point, that fan, remember the giant fan rug? That was only down by like 20%. Wasn't actually doing too bad, but still went down in price. So again, smart buy order. That was sitting at $2. For the amulet rug, I decided to offer 70 cents to $1. I thought, you know what, over the course of the next year or so, yeah, it'll probably drop off a fair bit. Maybe goes down, maybe like $1.30. I could pick up a bunch of them for $1 maybe. So yeah, that was my approach, and yeah, that's exactly what I did. Now, for the wooden door, haven't made too much of a fuss about that, but wooden doors in general, they just, no. So many of them, well, pretty much all of them go below $1. Yeah. So I went with 50 cents to 70 cents. And I don't even think I even bothered doing a bar on it, but yeah, wooden doors, they just don't really ever work out as investments. Then I looked at the Lunar Lantern Sleeping Bag, and you know what? Very surprised to see at this specific point, it just only about had 9,260 subscribers. That's incredibly low compared to the many sleeping bags we've seen in the past, like 2 or 3 years. One of the lowest selling sleeping bags. It was so bright and noticeable, and I couldn't help but assume people would appreciate it. So at $2.49, I thought, are you still going to go down a price? Maybe at worst, you're going to go down by about 20%, which would mean it will end up at around $2. So I went with $1 to $1.50. That was my barter approach. I thought, okay, maybe things could maybe work out quite nicely for it. But still hesitant, still cautious. When it came to the clothing, so, yep, now we're talking about the regular skins, the skin that weren't abnormal, even though the hoodie technically was, but anyway. For the clothing, like I said, when it comes to holiday-themed skins, so Halloween, Christmas, I lowball, because I know they'll drop off pretty badly over the course of the year. If you do see the continuations of next year, so fingers crossed, next year in 2026, Dragon's Fury Tier 2 or Tier 3, boots and gloves, either way, if it happens, those two clothing pieces are going to appreciate it. I looked at them both and I said, you know what, yeah, 40 cents to 50 cents, as per usual with like holiday clothing armor skins. And then for the salvage sword, I was questioning, was the primitive update going to actually introduce some interesting things? Was it going to keep people like actively wanting to keep playing it? Will all the primitive weaponry, so the salvage sword, the long sword, the hunting bow, the crossbow, will they be used so much more that there's more justification to own skins and all skin prices go up in value quite nicely? Still kind of hoping for it, but I looked at that sword and I was like, I'm still not sure, I'm still not super confident, and if I'm not super confident with something, I play it safe. I went with 60 cents to 80 cents for that salvage sword. Right, so that was everything basically, so now we'll talk about the outcomes. And looking at all these skins right now, yeah. Oh, look, it all went down below its restore price. Now, some of these skins have actually performed better compared to others, but I've got to bring this up. So I've been keeping an eye on the player counts as of recent. February 2025 has been absolutely immense. It has been the best it's ever been for a February. It hardly dropped off from January. Now, of course, you may associate the primitive update being the reason why it held up so nicely. That's fine. But for March, it really does look like, with the cooking update, with the crafting update, so I'm talking about the chickens in the chicken coops, being able to make pie, all the bonuses, needing to keep food refrigerated now. Like, this could probably really change up certain parts of Rust and whatnot. And people like that. People are invested. People want to jump in. People want to play it. March also looks like it's going to get a lot of people playing. And I've looked at prices of skins as of recent. And let me tell you, it don't look like they're going that much lower. I don't really think we're going to get that much of an Easter dip. I don't think it's going to crater pretty badly around March, April time. I think you need to look at skins now and make decisions in regards to if you want to jump in and invest into them. Yes, I'm not joking. So it's funny you see this in a profit review video, and thank you for watching it, by the way. But yeah, you've got to start making decisions now for skins in general and these skins right here. So let's just go through all these right now, because it's not just like the player count's been pretty funny. It's the amount of listings these skins have in the Steam market. So yes, Lunar Snake Kaleidoscope AK-47, $2.49. So many AK-47s, being given away and sold. It's gone down to under $1. Okay, that was expected. But how many AKs? Let me just remind myself. Was there an AK in the previous week? I completely have blanked on this. It's been a while. Right. No, it wasn't. But literally the very next roster we did see one. So we got all the Twitch drops. And then, yeah, so... Yippee! Thanks, face punch. But yeah, if I go to the Steam market right now, it has basically met its fate. And it ended up being a 60 cent to 80 cent barter. Like expected, yeah. So, alright, fair enough. That's what happens when you keep adding more and more and more and more AK-47s. Now, the funny thing is, the skin crate is actually intended to try and do a collection continuation, even though this is a Lunar New Year skin. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but hey, props to them, give it a shot. Let's see what happens next. We'll see what happens. Right then, so let's move on. The Lunar Snake Furnace. I said 60 cents to 80 cents. It's now sitting here just slightly below a dollar, where it's now selling at 97 cents. Okay, so yeah, that seems to be the case. Yeah, it's just matching up to expectation, basically. Only 27 listings, though. And when you look at the actual listings, it's very thin. It's very thin. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Snake L96. And you know what? This cool-looking golden snake design seems like it's actually been appreciated enough. Now, it's still gone down in price. You'll point that out. But then I'll point out there's only 18 listings. I'll then point out that the quantities are incredibly thin. I'll point out that, 5 sales back up to its rust or price. Yep. So, But then again, you take a look at the L96s. Yep, here we are. Now, this is performing better than like 10 other skins here, but all of them are down in price basically, except 2. The glow-in-the-dark Ghost Flame L96 and the Blackout L96. So, yeah, by default, I'm not really upset with how I approached it too much, because I really did think it was going to drop off. So many of these, like, sort of around $1, but you were one of the special ones. You still went down in price, but you didn't go down too badly. And my 80 cents to $1.20 barter, that seems to have worked out very nicely. Now, did you actually buy any of the skins in this Lunar New Year Week 2 Rust store? I didn't, but I have picked up some with buy orders, and I'm okay with that because it really doesn't look like they're going to go down that much in price any more than where they are. No one's listing anything. No one's listing anything. So if I could just move on and talk about the Lunar Snake Locker here. As I said, last second I got hesitant, I got too cautious, and it's actually not gone down too badly. So I went with 70 cents to $1, and it's sitting here at $1.80. With only 13 listings. What's going on? Well, no one really bought any of them. You've got to remember that. Okay. So, what did I say? 70 cents to $1 for this. You got a decent amount of barters all sitting mostly around $1. And I wouldn't be surprised if some people did actually manage to pick some of these up with this barter here. But, yeah, it's actually doing a pretty good job of actually holding up quite nicely. Now, again, just a good, decent amount of sales, and it's suddenly back up to its rust price. So, okay, maybe this isn't too bad. And this is why I'm kind of getting the point across to all of you. If you wanted to actually invest into these skins, you're going to have to start taking a look at them right now. Because I kind of don't think these skins are going to be going down that much lower. And from here and now, in anticipation for the summer, they're probably just going to slowly, graciously rise up in price. So the information's been passed on to you. You tell me. All right, then. Then we have the wooden door. Okay, just to quickly show this. How many wooden doors are actually in the positive that came out over the past 4 years? None. None. So many of them down to less than $1. It's very unfortunate, and you have to go real far back to finally actually see a few of them actually in the positive. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but how often are you even using wooden doors, and how much are you using wooden doors? Not enough, it seems. Kasim is a cool-looking glow-in-the-dark wooden door, but it's the wooden door itself. So, yeah, that has basically matched up to expectation. But this right here, yeah, it sold like next to nothing. You compare this with all the sleeping bags that came out over the past few months. Past couple of years, I meant to say, sorry about that. But yeah, no, it has sold like nearly the lowest amount overall. And, well, it's actually technically in the positive right now. So if I could just quickly show you this. It's actually sitting here at $2.70. There's only 26 listings. The bars are still holding up very nicely. Now, I went with $1 to $1.50. And I will sit here and say I played it too safe. I thought the sheer lack of sales might have been partly due to the sheer lack of interest, but no. Someone actually walked in and bought out a lot of stock, like a week or so later. So much so that I looked at my bar order and I made considerations. And you see this $2 barter here? Yeah, that's me. I put down more barters. Yep, and I picked up a few of them for a cheaper price as well. I think this is going to have a pretty fun time ahead of it, because this is what it looks like right now. Right now, as of March. How is this going to look during the summertime? And last year, during the summer 2024, so many skins went up in price ever so nicely because there's a lot of people playing. I mean, I'm just gonna wait and see. But yeah, if I could just quickly go over to here, looking at the the jump here, that that was when the buyout happened, and it was just basically sitting at about $3 to $3.49 at that specific spot for a while. It looks like it reached a low point, and then from here now it's just stagnating around $3. It doesn't look like it's moving that much. You've got to make a consideration now. What are you going to do after seeing that? Because it doesn't look like it's going to go down any lower. And it's got next to no listings. It could take 10 sales and it's probably close to about $4. What do you reckon is going to happen? Well, we'll wait and see. But I actually picked up a fairly decent amount of these with that renewed buy order. So I was wrong with the initial pricing, but I felt confident in it, jumped in with a third buy order, and it has worked out nicely. But I didn't do that third buy order during the abnormal buy order, so it doesn't count. Hedge, shut up. All right then, well, okay. Custom SMG and Salvage Sword, I wasn't feeling confident in them, and they've both basically ended up with prices around $1, basically. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, more specifically with the Salvage Sword, primitive update. Has it actually been successful? I'm under the impression it hasn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make some more changes to the primitive game mode to improve things. Is it the end of the world right now? No. I have noticed quite a lot of Salvage Swords have improved with their prices and improved with the barders, but they are still mostly in the negative, unfortunately. That definitely still seems to be the case. Unfortunate, but yeah. So hopefully it does work out, but I don't think that's worked out nicely. So I was correct to be cautious with it, and yeah. If I'm not super confident, I play it safe, and playing it safe worked out for me quite nicely, because I went with 60 cents to 80 cents. And with the clothing, well, remember, this sold for 99 cents, this sold for $1.99, and looking at both of them, well, this is now coasting at around 60 cents with the barders holding it up, because they're sitting at around like 50-ish cents here. And over to here, we have the Dragon's Fury hoodie, and it doesn't really look like it's actually going that much lower, because you got these people here, the 70 cent and 60 cent barders. So, okay, fair enough. I might have been wrong with the hoodie, but the pants does seem to be working out as expected. So, yeah. So, will it potentially be worse off around autumn fall season? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that right there is basically just gone down. And if you really want to grab some for yourself, if you're feeling very confident Dragon's Fury Tier 2 or Tier 3 will happen next Lunar New Year, you might want to consider jumping onto them now. It's up to you. The rug has actually worked out quite nicely. It's basically matched up to the behaviour of the rug that we got from the previous year. So just to remind you, that was called the Dragon Fen rug. And that's actually improved. Okay, fair enough. So that right there, it's only down by 20%. It's sold for $1.99 and it's now on the Steam market at $1.57. I played it somewhat safe with that, 70 cents to $1. And looking at the barders, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if I actually picked up some of these. Maybe you did as well, in terms of the barders, that is. But, yeah, no, doesn't really look like it's climbing that much either. In fact, how many have sold in the past 24 hours? Only 3. That really doesn't really show that much sign of interest, no. So, overall, mostly everything matched up to expectation. Everything is down in price. It's unfortunate, but, comparing to all the previous Lunar New Year rustores, yeah. Right, so with that out of the way, I do want to bring up with both Lunar New Year rustores for 2025, I did just essentially say, you know what, the best thing to put your barders down on them, actually make some purchases of, is Chinese Lantern. And lo and behold, it does appear to be the case. Now you're going to sit there and say, but Hedge, it's sitting there at $2.67. That's like hardly any profit. No, you fool, you don't sell it now. You wait until around December, January time. It's a year-long wait, but it usually works out very nicely. Now, in one instance, we have seen this actually reach its peak price in the summer. That was back in 2023. So if we just go all the way down over to here. Oh, actually, this is just showing the recent times. But in the summer of 2023, it peaked up at about $6 in August 2023. But with the most recent past year, this actually peaked literally a month ago, around January time. And it went all the way up to about $6. But then it goes all the way down again. But looking at this specific spot, it's not going anywhere. It has reached its lowest point already. Now, if you also take into consideration the amount of barders we have over on this side, yeah, I'm not surprised. So a lot of support has been put down, and this doesn't look like it's ever going to go below $2.50 ever again. So if you did pick up some of these, like I would have suggested, I bought some myself, you would at least want to wait until the summer, or you want to wait until at least December, later this year, or January. This always tends to repeatedly go all the way up to its peak price around December, January time. You might sit and say, oh, but in the summer I could sell it for $1 profit. Well, you know what? At the end of this year, you might be able to sell it for about $3 profit. It's up to you, but profit is profit, and if you're happy with it, you go take it, all right? Not going to take that away from you. So, okay. And you need to now go ahead and take a look at these skins themselves and make considerations. What are you going to do next now? Like, are you going to jump in and buy some now that they appear to be reaching their lowest point? And now we also talk about what happens next. Because if we're not actually going to see an actual Easter dip, what happens when we reach the summertime? With this proposed update for the March Force Wipe, it might be April, we'll see, but I'm still expecting the jungle update, the introduction of the jungle biome, with all the brand new animals, with all the brand new monuments, the trees, the foliage, all the brand new weapons. When we see the release of this, I can't help but assume there's going to be a lot of people wanting to play that. And if it's coming out in the summer, during the summer vacation when kids don't have school, I wouldn't be surprised if we get so many people that we actually beat the peak player count that we beat back in January. I really wouldn't be surprised. Now, with so many people playing, what do you reckon might happen? Oh, yeah, maybe prices will go up very high again. Yes. Last year, in the summer, we reached a very nice high point of 97,000 average player count. At this specific point, that was absolutely absurd. Look what it is right now. So, I don't think we're going to be seeing prices be that much worse off. And if that's the case, from here and now, are these prices only going to improve? And will they eventually peak around when the introduction of the jungle update happens? That is now my guess. So, look at skins now. Start making those considerations. It doesn't have to just be Lunar New Year. Go look at the Christmas skins as well. Go look at the Halloween skins as well. It's in your hands now. Start making some decisions. And so that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Let's just get a quick sneak peek preview for what the next video is going to be, and that is the primitive update. And, well, they did not really hold up very nicely, did they? No. Oh, dear. Yeah, there you go. There was the other AK. We've already put that out, haven't we? Yeah. Why did they accept so many AKs when there was Twitch drops? I don't know. So, did you happen to buy any of these skins with a purchase? Feel free to comment below. Did you buy any with a barter? Feel free to comment below. Love to read what you've said. And feel free to offer your own opinion based on what you expect the prices from here and now. Are they actually going to get any cheaper? Or are we going to see some pretty absurd prices in the summertime? It's nice to be optimistic. I'll also bring this up. With this proposed big brand new jungle update, wouldn't be surprised, and this is me like theory crafting, this is fantasy talk, but it makes perfect sense. I'd be surprised if they have Twitch drops when they have the release of the jungle update, just to give it another bit of boost of advertisement. In fact, they'll probably have the update like on their main Steam page as well, because it's pretty big. The first ever biome to be added to Rust, at least in like modern Rust, I guess you could say. So this is pretty big, and I know a lot of people are going to be super interested and want to jump in the very second it releases, so something to look forward to. And with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you all later. Best of luck with you and your investments. Can't speak. You know where I am. All right, catch you later. Bye.